all-out, no-holds-barred, no-rules fighting that allowed eye gouging, biting, and often resulted in death. But in case watching ancient Greek oiled-up buff guys do sports wasn't enough, there was also another type of event that took place in ancient Greece during the Iron Age that was also pretty interesting and possibly just as cool. That being the drinking contests at symposia. You see, during ancient Greece, there was things known as symposia, which were essentially formal gatherings of intellectuals to speak about philosophy, religion, and other topics. And as the symposia grew in popularity and became a bigger and bigger event, they added more games, more food, and eventually added more festivities, with one of the most notable being the drinking contests, which, in my opinion, were simple but hilarious. While the original purpose of this event was to discuss philosophy and religion, by the end of the day, it would quickly devolve into a drunken yelling match amongst all of the participants of this random drinking game. How it worked was essentially like an ancient hot dog eating contest. A group of ancient Greeks would line up beside each other, they would all be given a certain number of glasses of wine, and the entire goal of the contest was to either drink the most wine, stay sober the longest, or keep drinking the longest without throwing up or passing out. And it's unsurprising that there is recorded history of many of these events turning extremely rowdy, and in some cases even resulting in death due to alcohol poisoning. Almost hilariously, scholars believe that these drinking contests were likely a way to prove masculinity and endurance, even though in most cases they typically just ended in embarrassment. And while during the Olympic Games, Olympians, at least those who won, were highly regarded and granted glory and fame, it's hard to say whatever came of the winners of the drinking contests of ancient Greece. But yeah, if you ever got teleported to ancient Greece and were looking for something fun to do, two notable options are going to the Olympic Games if you happen to be there at the right time, or at the very least, power-chugging wine and seeing where the night takes you. The Classical Era. The Classical Era is a relatively short and niche era of history, and for that reason, it's going to receive a relatively short section, although I figured it was worth mentioning for a few reasons. During the Classical Era, or the Classical Antiquity, specifically in Greece and Rome, live entertainment was at the forefront of fun, and was becoming exponentially more complex, important, and organized. Greek theater and festivals eventually grew so much in popularity they were considered an essential part of daily life. And participation in these live events by locals was essentially mandatory. And because many Greeks were able to have leisure time due to the fact that slave labor was doing a lot of grunt work in ancient Greek society, meant the upper classes could not only go to these events but help support the events to make them larger. Although, of course, none of those funds would go to the people putting on the show, just the ones you saw on stage. Regardless, besides the development of theater in ancient Greece, we also saw the development of work-life balance over in Rome. Possibly for the first time ever, the Romans began to separate the concepts of work time and leisure time, and they even created individual words for each of these tasks. Otium was the word for leisure, and negotium was the word for business or work. And it's believed that with these words